you know, to tell him like, oh, I can't find, you know, sound engineering. I can't find.
And this
it
is
was
what
like,
I want.
It was like, get out of my office.
Magasco, the Bamenda Boy, welcome.
Dang, 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 dang. It's original thing.
Yes. That's what we're talking about. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. You know, grateful for life. We thank God for just being alive. You know.
Awesome. The social media, I mean, was shut down recently, but I think before the first half of the year, bloggers have been accusing you guys, the artists, again, of course, that you're not putting out content enough.
I know, right? This social media thing, like what just happened, please let it never happen again. Because for a second you see your life flash in front of you, like
maybe this all like
this is the end. Because I mean, I'm from the analog world,
right?
To be real, like I've been used to, but I just got into the digital world, and everything now is based off digital,
right? You
know, from CD sales, everything,
right.
Promotion, everything,
right?
And then you wake up and you cannot communicate.
That's insane.
I almost had a heart attack.
And he went for hours.
Yeah,
like, this is it.
I was like, maybe this is it. And listen, man, if you say bloggers were saying, shout out to bloggers though, but how can bloggers be saying that we've been dormant? Artists have not been dormant. You know, we've had albums.
Right.
We've had singles from almost all artists that I know, and we've even have somebody like me. I've been putting out, you know, music. I've been putting out music, and even introducing younger ones. Like, come on, we've not been dormant. I know if you conquer that one.
Oh, all right. So Ooze Out is literally like a podcast where we discuss. I mean, like I'm going to explain when you perforate somebody or you cut somebody and the ooze out blood and stuff. There's no, it just goes all out. So this show is literally no censoring. It's unfiltered. We're talking about deep things, whatever it is, you know, just put it out there as it is. No filtering.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Exactly.
I like that. Let's go.
So one of the things I'm really concerned about is about Magasco, the Bamenda Boy, before the fame. Where were you before the fame?
Yo, before the fame, I was the quartier kid, the college kid, the primary school kid. You know, I did primary school at the Catholic school Bamenda, Small Mancon, and later on GS Molang, because my parents couldn't afford the Catholic school at a certain level. And, you know, at college, it was a bit difficult for me because I've always been a creative ever since I was a kid. Drawing, you know, singing, trying to play instruments and all that. So it kind of just made me a different kind of person. So every time I'll be in school, I really didn't focus enough in school. So I would not really have good, you know, passes. I would not perform well with other subjects. And that really was one of the reasons why I would move from school to school to school to school. You know, I've done PCHS, Bamenda, GBHS downtown, GBHS, Bamenda, you know, just
like all over,
just like moving all over the place because, you know,
and
I did, you know, I finally get into the university where I couldn't. Finally, when I got to the university, I was like, okay, this is it. You know, I finally found that place where I would just study what I love, which was arts, and you know, and more, you know, specifically. That is music production. That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Right.
But unfortunately, I couldn't find a faculty for that.
Our schools don't provide that. Don't you think that's a problem?
It's a huge problem. I don't know if I'm the only one seeing it, because it was a huge blow to me. Because I went to the university like every other person, like, okay, finally I made it.
Yes.
You know, now I want to do what I want to become in my life. Like, this is who I want to be tomorrow. But I went to the university, I couldn't see it. I remember I went to the chancellor's office, you know, to tell him like, oh, I can't find, you know, sound engineering. I can't find.
And this is what I want.
It was like, get out of my office.
That's
So
insane.
that was a blow in my face. So I had to just, at a certain level, I had to just quit. I mean, I was good in history, but I'm not trying to end up being a historian.
Right.
I don't love being an historian. You know,
Right.
I just love music. I love art. And from there, I had to just get to my hustle, try to find out how I could be involved in 1 or 2 showcases, you know, to show my talent. And to survive was another thing. So I had to hustle in the streets of Bamenda and Kumba. So I would always find myself in markets, because if you want to hustle,
You got to do anything.
you need to find, you know, you need to go to the market,
Right.
you know. So I would find myself there, and I really been love. You know, I've always been in love with, as I said, arts,
Right.
fashion. So I started selling what we call okrika,
Right.
second hand. You know, I would fashion them, make them look, you know, a little more,
from-
yeah,
right.
and then I would sell them, so make some gain and be able to just sponsor myself throughout my, you know, my debut.
That process, I think during while you were at that, how did Gary happen?
Gary, you know, these are the songs, like when I used to hustle back in the days, I would sell, I would go to showcases, and I remember I met Pazzo at one showcase called Positive Vibration. Shout out to Mr. Ngwangwa, who organized the thing, was the main brain behind it. So while at, you know, in the market, I would write the songs. I would just write these songs, Gary, because I was just writing my reality. I
Right.
was just writing the things, all these
Totally
funny things that
relatable.
were happening to me,
Right.
you know. So I would just write. Gary was like the main meal at that level, you
Right.
know. The only thing you could really just
I think
feel-
it still is.
I mean, yeah, I love it. I still love it, but it's not like I have an option
Right,
now. You know,
right.
back in the days, you want to make gain, you want to sell and make gain, you want to
Right.
see profit. So you don't want to go eat somewhere where you would spend by, let's say, 1,000 or 500 francs.
Right,
That would be too much.
right.
So with Gary, you could, you know, with 200 francs, you could eat Gary
You're
and
good.
pear with sugar, groundnuts. Bro, you're good for the day.
Right.
You're good to go hustle. So Gary was like the #1 dish. So I had to write a song for
Needed
it.
to pay homage to
I
Gary.
needed to write a song for it, you know.
That was a life-saving stuff. But what I'm curious about is during all of these hustles, Mumak finds you.
Yeah.
Mumak finds you. And at the time you came to Mumak, you did like 1 or 2 songs with Jovi.
Yeah.
But my curiosity is actually at the level. Why didn't you stay so long? It lasted like a year.
Yeah, like a year and a half. You know, as I said, I've been a hustler ever since, you know, I got into, because I knew it will all depend on me at the end of the day.
Right.
So depending on people has not really been my thing
Right.
over the years, but I believe working with people takes you further. And I remember when Muma came up, you know, Jovi, he came out with some singles, and it was insane. Done for Quad, I think, Man Pass Man. And Jules came to Bamenda. Jules, who was, you know, one of the owners of Mumak, he came up. Shout out to Jules Iglo. He came over to Bamenda, and my album was already out. I had a locally made album where you had the Garis and the Lion Lobas, and the, you know, we had like 12 songs. I did with Pazzo, you know, and when Jules came over, you know, he was told like this: there is a kid called Bamenda Boy,
Right.
You know, aka Magasco. You should listen to this kid. And when he listened, he liked so many things, you know, and he had a vision, a more, because I was just doing music for the love of it.
Yeah, you.
I really didn't have a vision. I didn't know you have a brand. I didn't even know what was a brand.
Right.
So when he came over to me, we had a conversation, and that was it, you know. And he played Jovi's promo CD then. Like, this is the artist he's working with. I was like, this is unreal.
mad.
I was like, this is unreal. Like, this is out of the picture. Like, I want to be part of this team. And
Right.
that's how I became part of the team. Came over to Yaoundé. We started working. We did the remix for Lion Loba. I featured in Jovi's album.
Right.
And things just went like that. And after a while, really, I can't tell you what happened, but it really had nothing to do with me. So at one point I was informed, because they were my bosses, that I would have to move with Jules. And I was like, okay,
Move with you.
I would have to just move with Jules.
Okay.
So I mean,
Is that at the time when
I'm working under you guys,
right?
I just take orders. You
is
know,
that the time when New Bell was separating from Mumac?
New Bell didn't exist then.
Oh,
I didn't even. New Bell came after this thing happened. So I moved with Jules, and you know, we stayed for a while on the Mumac, but we didn't produce. After that, we didn't produce anything. We had some little misunderstandings too between me and him, and I mean, I'm grateful we squashed all that.
right.
I still take advice from him every time and stuff. So that's just how it happened.
Right. That's the entertainment industry. But again, 3 years ago, Pete Bacardi was on a show. The name of the show is Chin. So
Brice
Brice
Albert.
Arbin, yeah. And one of the things that he said on the show was the fact that he had a couple of field trials for Empire, and then you came. And then when you came, you were like the stabilization of the economy of Empire and stuff. Those were his words.
Okay.
But directly translated it well. And he was like, yeah, the stability, like, and he didn't just say that. There was also the Universal Music show that happened sometime in Douala, where he also did mention you and said that when you came into, you know, you were like the artist that showed that Empire could work.
Yeah.
Because he tried Ixmalia, Dugzi at the time, of course, but however, what I'm curious about is he said that at the time when they were trying to get to you, you were just so about, you know, your parents were on the fact that you needed to get done with school.
Yeah.
And that was a hindrance.
Yeah.
How did you just let that slide? How did you pass over your parents to be
Yo.
like, you know what, this is music?
Yo, it was crazy. You know, truth be told, I had serious issues with my family. Like, you know, my brother, first of all, he's a teacher. My sister, she's a nurse. And we're just three. I'm the last. Right. So imagine the pressure I had. I had to do something, you know. But me, I've always told them I'm in love with music. So
right.
At that point, I had to break up with my family. Like, honestly, I wasn't in good terms with my family for about 2 years or so. Wow. Yeah, it was horrible. My mom, she wasn't happy. I mean, I understand where she was coming from. The way artists were perceived, the way we saw artists around Bamenda, Tamalung, where I come from, it didn't sell the game right.
Totally.
It didn't sell well. You know, you would see artists, they dress some type of way. Yeah. They don't go to school. They, you know, certain things. So that's the marketing that we had, right. You know.
So and the narrative sold to our parents.
Yeah, so our parents, that's all they knew about music. They didn't know, like, music was this very huge thing that you could actually study in school. You know, it's a whole industry on its own. And, yeah, I had to split up with my family for a while to be able to just make music, especially when I was working with Empire.
And how did that come true? I think your first song was with Dugzi.
Fine Boy.
Fine Boy.
Yeah, Fine Boy, that was it. Fine Boy was a song I did independent.
Yeah, right.
If you remember the way it came out, the audio was already on notjustok.com.
Right.
And
Just With You.
Yeah, and back then people were confused if I was Jamaican or Nigerian.
Totally.
So it was like people were saying they weren't. I remember I went to places. I even told DJs that's my song, and they were like, "Come on, bro, come on."
It's not true.
You know, so I was already signed, but the song was already out because we did it like that, and we just put it out, and it was making waves. And I remember Pete calling me one time when he found out that was my song. He was like, because I was like, when we were already like 1 year in the contract, because I went back home. After signing, I went back home. I don't know what was going on, but I was home for a year.
Nothing? No production?
A whole year. I had to stop praying, like, wake up every night and just sprinkle holy water, like, devil, leave my, man. You don't even know.
This is insane. You finally see a breakthrough right there, and then you're home.
Yeah. So one morning, I had a call from Pete telling me, yo, this is your song, Fine Boy. We need to do the video. I was like,
this is it.
Let's go.
Prayers are walking.
Because one thing about me is I am a go guy.
Right.
I am a go guy. Like,
That's facts. I do agree with.
When it's time to go, I am not saying let me get this or let me get into the room or let me have a bath.
Right.
I am a go guy. If you say let's go, let's go. Before you tell me let's go, be ready. Because once you say let's go and I say let's go, you better be ready because I'm just going. I'm going to leave you behind.
Facts.
So when he said that, I was like, okay, let's go. And that's how we did it. I was in Bamenda. I took the next bus. In Yaoundé, we did it. And that's it. We just left from there. And other songs just kept coming in and everything. And then he later on found out, like, I could produce.
Like you
I could write songs. You know, I could. So he
was like, this is it.
Yeah, so I started working for him too, like his own songs, songs of other artists in the label, and he just went fast like that.
I'm curious. This you're not very fond of. You're not the artist whose art has been built on controversy, like many other Cameroonian artists. Like you don't attack people on the internet. It's been mostly positive energy, but it wasn't always like that. I need to remind you. In 2015, let's go down memory lane a little. There was a time when you had this fuse. I don't know. It's never been addressed. I've checked all media platforms to see if this was addressed. He had this fuse in 2015 with Jovi.
Yeah.
And came online, and Jovi was like, dude, I need an apology in 48 hours, or you will not like how it goes down with you. And you spoke rudely to my boss. In fact, there were rumors online that this was with results to the contract that you signed and it wasn't good and stuff. I've really never had clarifications on that, and I know the people want to know. What happened? What was the root cause?
Yo, you really want to go there, man.
I want to talk. Man. I want to know. Like that's like everybody wants to know.
That's like 10 years.
It is.
That's almost 10 years, bro.
But then I maybe want to know. Maybe I don't know if that affected your relationship with Jovi or how you approach it. But
yeah, it did. It did affect my relationship. Like even before then, it's not like I was cool with Jovi or anything. You know, when we had the split and everything, at a certain level, he kind of distanced himself from me. Okay. So that was the thing. So
it wasn't you?
Nah, he distanced himself from me for, I don't know. I don't really know why. And I am that type of person who respects it. Like when I see that, I keep my distance too. Right. Because, you know, it's life. So I started working with Empire. That became my family, right? You know, and then out of the blue, people were tagging me, you know, and I was younger too, right? I mean, I've always been a composed person, but I was still kind of young, so excited and everything. I woke up, everybody tagging me like, "Oh, this person is insulting your boss and all that," and I just woke up out of excitement. I was like, this dude. What's up? Like, so I just posted too, like, oh, this guy is your elder, you should respect him and all that. So he came back and said, oh, I have to apologize in 48 hours, you know what I mean? And you know, that was just some hype to me. You know, and you didn't take that serious? Yeah, I didn't take it serious. Come on. Why would I take it serious?
Because I think that came like a shock. Some time back, it was like a shock. Like, I didn't think that you were really going to, but it went like on.
You know me, like, it takes, like, till date, I really regret why I even said that. But, you know, anything you just say online, it just goes. People screenshot and everything. I regret why I even got in all that mess. I was supposed to just stay on my lane. Especially when he started talking, I was like, you know what? I realized myself, and I was like, you know what? I'm not talking again. So no matter whatever they said, no matter whatever was going on, I just hush, you know, because it's not worth it. You know, I'm trying to make music. I'm trying to, like, literally every day I wake up, I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to feed my family. Right. And I'm trying to make music. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm not trying to create no fights. I'm not trying to do no, you know. So really.
So was it really related to the contract? Was Jovi pissed because Pete Bakadi disrespected him on TV, or was it because it was with respect to your contract?
Nah, it had nothing to do with my contract. I mean, I've never really had a conversation with him ever since that time, so I can never really know what was the problem. But I'm sure maybe because maybe Pete disrespected him online or something. But basically myself, I was just trying to protect my family
Right.
because Pete was like family to me then.
Right.
So I was just trying to protect my own, and that's it.
And there was also mention of the fact that before Pete had you into Empire, he had come for Jovi first. Is that true?
I heard that too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now tell me, when you got into Empire, do you think that as young as you were, was there some level of ignorance as far as contracts were related?
A lot.